How's everybody doing? My name is Stephen Rosenberg, this is Gene Ginsberg, and welcome to Marketing Success in Under 10 Minutes. Gene, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Stephen, how about yourself? What's been going on?
I'm doing pretty excellent and really excited to talk about Facebook Watch, which is their new sort of TV platform that they've started up. And I think this is a very interesting topic, especially from a marketing perspective, because it is very similar to Netflix. And I don't know if you've heard anything about this in the news where Netflix and Disney are separating their ways. Have you heard about this?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so they separated their ways, or it goes into effect, next year. So let's kind of historically look at this really quick. So you know who Blockbuster is, obviously, and Netflix came in and pretty much dominated them and put them out of business. And then Netflix has really been an industry leader for a while, and they've been able to do that because they got companies like Disney and other businesses to put their videos on their platform. And now Disney has decided that they're going to start up their own version of Netflix.
Oh, all right. I did not realize that's what... I mean, that kind of makes sense, but I didn't realize that's where this was going.
Yeah. So then you also see competitors to Netflix like Hulu, HBO Go,
Amazon.
Yeah. Amazon has their own, yep. And so now Facebook is launching their own.
They're kind of, I feel like
Watch.
They're a little late to the game almost.
They're a little late to the game, but I don't think so because they have so much domination in terms of the market, and I think it's almost smart for them to sit back and watch. But as soon as they realize that this is something they want to do, they have all of the resources and the cash and everything else to be able to go out and get this done in a very, very effective way, I feel like. So, I think that especially because they have the data on what are you chatting about with your friends about what you're watching. What did you like about the show? What didn't you like about the show? Yeah, it's true that
there is a lot of social media sharing with that about the shows. Of course, that would be the social media sharing on Facebook, so there's a lot of feedback, right? Yeah, which is a lot different than just watching it on TV or on other platforms that don't have the social media feedback.
Exactly. And so what if you can actually get to a place where you can interact with a show while you're watching it? I mean, I think that's I think Facebook will be the one that does it really, really different than all the other ones because their platform has so many different aspects to it, and they're really becoming an expert at video advertising and just, really becoming well-diversed in videos in general, because I think videos are way more effective than things that are typed out now. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, of course. And Facebook is they're one of the leaders in Facebook in video advertising, of course, besides YouTube, which is, I would say, the other leader in the space. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think even YouTube has tried to start their own version called YouTube Red or something like that.
Yeah.
But
I've seen that.
I don't know how successful that is, though, and I don't know how well that's done. So I think that, again, sort of the main players to me seem like, obviously Netflix started it off, and then Amazon, Hulu, and then I would guess Facebook will come in next.
Well, yeah, but also one of the other things to keep in mind, which is kind of interesting, is that, Netflix started off with just having movies on their platform, but then eventually they became the creator of these new shows that they have been creating over the last, let's say, 5 years or so. So that's kind of an interesting evolving of and then same thing with Amazon, right? Amazon just started off like having a bunch of different movies on their platform, but now is actually producing and creating these shows. So it's like an interesting point and an interesting, I guess, paradigm shift where, I feel like their Netflix and Amazon and all of these new platforms are kind of taking away from Hollywood. Not in the sense not the actors themselves, but like they're taking away from the production studios, right? Because they're they're not going through the Hollywood production studios anymore because they have the cast to do it themselves.
Yep, and they are starting to take cast members with them. I forget the woman's name, but it was a big deal where they signed her away from one of the TV networks, and that was like the first time that had ever been done where they actually got someone to go away from the TV networks. And again, at the end of the day, this all comes down to content generation. Who owns the content? I mean, that's who is going to be in control. So, if they can outsource or pay a percentage for movies that are already being made, that's great. But if they can create the content and own it, I mean, that's like a win-win situation for them to be in. And look how successful they've been at doing it. I mean, Netflix has come up with a number of shows that they've done themselves.
A ton of shows at this point.
That are huge. That are complete toe-to-toe with all the major networks. And so what does that mean for major networks over the next 10 years? I don't know. I mean, another thing that you see is cable subscriptions going down drastically. I mean...
Well, I believe the millennial generation doesn't really subscribe to cable. I mean, I haven't had cable in probably like 7 or 8 years.
It's been a long time for me too.
I've only had Netflix, and then of course all these other platforms started popping up like Amazon and Crackle, and now everybody has their own app or whatever on like Roku. I use the Roku, but there's other platforms out there as well.
Chromecast.
So
Apple TV. Yeah.
Yep. So now all of these network types are now on all of these, like whatever, Apple TV, Roku, whatever you call the actual little box that makes it all coagulate inside. Of course, there's just a lot of changes. And the other thing I was going to say is that, talking about TV is that from everything that I read in 2017, digital ad spend is going to go over TV ad spend. So it's going to actually surpass TV ad spend. So
really?
This is an interesting. Yep, that's everything that I've read is in 2017. That's the trend. It might have already happened, but so speaking to TV is that ad spend is no longer going to be the major way of getting to people because not a lot of people are actually watching TV itself, and plus. We don't ever really want to watch TV because there's commercials on it, and nobody ever wants to watch commercials and so people are not paying attention to it, right?
At all.
Yeah,
you pay the most for cable and you watch the most commercials. It's like such a ridiculous system. It makes no sense. And everyone runs from commercials. It's just...
Yeah, and of course... That's why I think that, that's why I think the reports is that digital ad spend is going to surpass TV ad spend because it's like, why put money into TV ads when people, even if you actually hit a TV ad, everybody just picks up their phone and starts, going on Facebook or whatever, even if the TV ad is actually there, nobody's actually paying attention to it, I feel like. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that people... hate advertisements. They don't want to be force-fed that stuff. And if you do that, people are going to rebel. And like you said, they're going to pick up their phone, they're going to walk in the other room and do something else. They're not going to sit there and watch it. So, why...
I mean, it's totally a new paradigm shift now that it's not at all how how our parents used to watch TV, It's totally different now.
Yeah. So, I just want to know why people still do spend money on that, why people are still... dumping tons and tons of... I mean, because it's an $80 billion a year industry. It's not like a tiny little industry.
Well, I believe it's changing because I think a lot... I mean, the reason... And I don't know if we have enough time to go into this now, but most of the time why businesses do what they do is because they've been doing it for a very long time.
Yep.
I mean, I guess that's a short answer of why big conglomerates and big corporations and big, car... companies that have been doing it for decades are putting money into TV ads, or they've been doing it forever, and so there's no reason.
That's a bad business model. I think.
Yeah, that's a terrible business model, but I obviously that's really why businesses have been doing it for so long. So
yeah,
I think now it's starting to catch up with them because they realize that the new generation, the millennial generation, and then the generation, what is it, Z, which is the generation after the millennials.
Yeah. Oh, no. And I think that's, why Facebook is moving that direction because, think about when you can get influencers to star in your quote-unquote TV shows. That'll be a whole different thing.
Exactly.
And be able to put together episodes really quickly in, not live time, but, close to live time where it's very relevant situations, you're really going to capture people's attention. And then obviously we know Facebook does a phenomenal job of advertising to people in general. And so I think that'll just feed into their overall advertising revenue.
Sure, but we do have to be cautious about Facebook, because everything that I'm hearing is that Facebook is running out of advertising load, because there's only so much advertising you can put into the feed, right, in different places. So they are actually coming to a point where that is going to exceed what I think people are comfortable with and what the users are comfortable with. So they're finding ways, they're looking for ways to where they can, stick some more advertising into the platform.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Well, we really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like the video and comment below. Let us know what you think is going to happen. And until we see you guys next time, have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you'll continue to get involved and join us as we help you find success in your entrepreneurial journey. Please follow, like, and share with others who will find this beneficial. We'll see you on the next episode of Marketing Success in Under 10 Minutes with Stephen and Jean.